Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome back to Copper Jacket TV. So if you had to guess just off the top of your head, how many FBI NICS checks have been performed this year so far, from January of 2022 to September of 2022, what would that guess be? Put your number down in the comment section. Let me know what you think that number is, because today I have the just released FBI data points on just how many NICS checks have been performed. Now, I have the entire list from 1998 to current, but it's a lot. So I'll leave it at that. If you guys want to know the actual number, stay tuned. Now, before we get started, I noticed there's a huge percentage of people out there who watch these videos but are not subscribed. If you wouldn't mind, take a quick second, hit that subscribe button. It's free. It doesn't cost you anything. Hit that little bell notification and stay on top of your Second Amendment rights. And also, check out the main sponsor of this channel, which is the USCCA. With your USCCA membership, you get things like self-defense liability insurance, reciprocity maps, online education and training, and a lot more. It's the best membership you could ever have in your wallet. So if you carry to defend yourself, I suggest you have a USCCA membership. Okay, so let's go and talk about NICS checks for 2022. Now, I'm also going to go over some previous years and show you guys some quick data points. And then also, we're going to go over the total number of NICS checks in the past 24 years. And it's a staggering number. I mean, it's a massive number. I find it really impressive, and I'm happy to see a number that big. I think you guys will too. So let's just go ahead and talk about this year first. 2022, was your guess right? So the total number of NICS checks so far this year that goes up to September 30th, and I'll put this on the screen so you guys can see it as well, is 23,260,000 and some change. So over 23 million so far this year. That's not necessarily the record, but that's the number for 2022 so far, and it's a pretty big number. You guys want to hear the record over the last 24 years? So the record year out of those 20 years came in 2020, which is not really all that surprising given the fact that, it's election year, right? So anytime there's an election year, you're going to see the charts start to spike up. But it hit almost 40 million. Over 39 million NICS checks were performed in 2020 alone. I mean, that's a pretty massive number. Now, try and keep in mind, these are just NICS checks. These don't involve anything like 80s or, stuff like that, any kits or anything. These are just NICS checks. So 40 million in the year 2020 alone. Now, I want to show you guys something really interesting about these numbers. There's a specific point in time where the numbers drastically increase. There's a spike of millions of NICS checks, and it never comes down again after that. Prior to this spike, the numbers, they would kind of go up and down. There's like a steady wave of peaks and valleys. But again, after this point, nope, it's just basically straight to the moon. So from 1998 to 2005, the numbers kind of landed anywhere between 8 and 9 million per year, and they just kind of barely fluctuated. All of a sudden in 2006, the numbers again jumped by millions. Well, what happened? Well, the 2004 ban, the 94 ban, that sunsetted in 2004. Companies started to jump on that, and sure enough, things started to hit the market. 2006, it took off, and we went from 8 million to 14 to 16 to the 20s to the 30s, almost 40, and now this year so far we're in the kind of mid-20, low mid-20 area. So it is just gone up ever since. Okay, so now for the total overall number of just NICS checks for the last 24 years. This is, again, it's a staggering number. I'm going to put it up on the screen so you guys can see it, and I'm going to read it here because it is a big number. We are looking at a total for the last 24 years, so far, still 3 months to go, of 434,836,997 NICS checks. That's just in the last 24 years. So from 98 to current, there's been over 430 million NICS checks. Absolutely fascinating number, and I really wanted to share that with you guys so you can kind of see how things have changed over the years. So if you ever run into anybody, one of those people that likes to throw that statistic out there, well, there's just too many out there. There's enough for one for everybody in this country. Well, you can throw your own statistic back at them and say, actually, you're wrong. There's probably enough for 1.5 to 2 for every person in this country, and I love it. I absolutely love it. So I just wanted to share that information with you guys and let you know the current numbers, and we'll see what the year ends up like, right? I think it all depends on the midterms. Again, it's an election year, and anytime there's an election year, you do tend to see a spike towards around that time, so we'll see what happens. But that is the latest data from the FBI. I want to thank you all very much for watching. Please like, subscribe, and you guys have a great day.